That's mine.
It's hot.
That's mine.
You're in there as well.
Okay, good morning everybody, bore da pawb. I think it's time for us to start with our virtual fair for today, for January 2021, first one of the year. So bore da a croeso I chi gyd I Ffair Wirfoddoli Rithwir yma. Heddiw, I ni'n mynd I gydweithio gyda cafs yn Sir Gaerfyrddin a pabs yn Sir Benfro I cynnig cyfleoedd wirfoddoli sydd ar draws y tair sir, sef Sir Gaerfyrddin, Sir Benfro a Ceredigion. Good morning to you all and welcome to this virtual volunteering fair. Today we will be co-hosting with CAVs and PAVs to offer you volunteering opportunities with organisations who cover the three counties of Carmarthenshire, Pembrokeshire and Ceredigion. Y mudiadau sydd gyda ni yma heddiw yw the organisations we have with us here today are the Royal Voluntary Service, welcome Simon and Bob. We've got the gyda ni'r Ymddiriedolaeth Natur De a Gorllewin Cymru, South and West Wales Wildlife Trust Laura, good morning and welcome. Tir Dewi, Wyn, bore da a chroeso I ti. Age Cymru Dyfed, welcome Marie, bore da. And Cerdded Bydd Lles Gorllewin Cymru, West Wales Walking for Wellbeing, welcome Dawn. Bydd gan pob mudiad tua 6 I 8 munud I hybu ei rôl wirfoddoli, ac os oes gan unrhyw un sydd yn gwylio yn fyw ar Facebook bore yma unrhyw gwestiwn, please rhowch yn yr man sylwadau ac fe wnawn ni ceisio ateb nhw I chi heddi. Mi fydd y ffair yma'n cael ei recordio ac ar gael I chi wylio yn hwyrach ar Facebook eto os dymunwch ac hefyd ar tudalen YouTube. Each organisation will have about 6 to 8 minutes to promote their volunteering opportunity. If anyone who's watching live on Facebook has a question, then please type it in the comments section and we will hopefully be able to answer that question for you today. We are also recording this fair and it will be available to watch back on Facebook at a later date if you wish to do so, and you can also find it on YouTube channels. So with that, I would like to welcome Simon and Robert from the Royal Voluntary Service to give us an idea of what kind of volunteering opportunities you currently have that are regional, that cover the three counties. So I shall pass it over you, beg your pardon, I shall pass it over to you, gents.
Service Manager for the Pembrokeshire Hub.
Hi, good morning. I'm Bob Evans and I'm the coordinator for Ceredigion Country Cars.
Volunteering is about giving the gift of your time, talent and skills so that you can make a difference to the people that live in your community.
If you haven't undertaken volunteering or anything quite like it before, don't worry. We have an experienced team of people ready to guide you through it with plenty of support and can help you make the most of your time with us.
What's more, we have a wide range of community-based volunteering opportunities to match your talents. And if you can't find something that suits your skills as a volunteer, coordinator, you could set up your own club or activity.
Volunteers can support our community services by sharing their skills and talents in fundraising, digital and social media, marketing and communications, admin support, recruitment, and so on.
I'd like to give you a quick brief history of Royal Voluntary Service. So Royal Voluntary Service was founded at the outbreak of World War II. 1 million women volunteered and supported their communities throughout the hardship of war. Now, 82 years on, our society is facing a different challenge, the coronavirus pandemic, and our volunteers have been at the forefront again of our nation to protect vulnerable people in our society and the NHS.
Okay, so where are we today and what are we doing as an organisation since the lockdown in March? RVS was chosen to recruit 250,000 volunteers for the NHS in the UK, in England. The volunteer responders to support the most vulnerable throughout the pandemic, and the response we saw was overwhelming. In fact, truly humbling. Within 3 days, we had 750,000 people step forward through the scheme. We have seen 360,000 active volunteers deliver over 1.3 million tasks to date. We're currently working with the NHS and St John's Ambulance to recruit 30,000 volunteers to help with the vaccination rollout. And our virtual village hall programme service has been a great success during the lockdown. This has given people an online platform which runs through Facebook, and it gives us all sorts of programming from Mr. Motivator to ballet classes.
We run 6 services with some 250 drivers across the 3 counties. The services are Country Cars, Pivot, Home from Hospital, Befriending, and the Renal service. The Befriending service supports our most lonely and vulnerable clients, which we've got during this pandemic. Volunteers have been making telephone calls to support our service users. Pivot is a volunteer-based service that takes clients home from hospital, and this operates from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. 7 days a week. The Renal service again is a volunteer-based service which runs at currently 3 days a week, and that's taking clients for their dialysis appointments, and this starts as early as 7 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, Pembrokeshire and Carmarthenshire County Cars, again, are volunteer-based services running 5 days a week from Monday to Friday, taking clients to medical appointments and essential shopping if required. RVS Ceredigion Country Cars was formed in 1977. The service provides volunteer transport for people in Ceredigion who are unable to make essential journeys in both town and rural areas where public transport is not available, or the service user was not fit enough to use public transport. We have been helping our service users for hospital and surgery services during the pandemic.
We run all these services through volunteers, and without you, these services wouldn't be able to run and help our most vulnerable in society.
Your gift of time, skill, talent makes such a difference to people's lives.
If you would like to become a volunteer with Royal Voluntary Service, you would need to fill in a number of forms, including application, driver declaration, safe and legal, and a DBS check needs completing at no cost to you. Also, we would need to see certain documents such as driver's license, passport and utility bill, as well as have a passport size photo, which makes up your ID badge, and a reference from someone that has known you for over 2 years. Once processed, you will receive an ID badge as well as a volunteer number and a link to our award-winning e-learning platform.
The platform will enable you to complete a number of e-learning modules, which will help you in your volunteering. I hope you've found this information useful. Please call us if you're interested in volunteering in one of our 3 counties. If you'd like to call myself, Bob, on 07812 485 809, or Simon on 07585 997091, or you can catch us on Facebook on our page. Thanks for giving us this opportunity to speak to you, and I hope we can hear from you in the future. And thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you. Don't panic about if anybody missed your contact details there. What we'll do is we'll pop them in the comment section. And if anybody wants to contact either one of you, and they can contact ourselves in Cabs or Carmarthen, or Cabs or Cavo, rather, sorry. And we can obviously pass any details on of any potential volunteers who are listening today. Trish, you are possibly looking after any questions that may pop up for our participants today. So I don't know if we've had any questions regarding...
There is one comment, Ruth. So They're asking how far is the usual journey if you're involved in in a kind of volunteer driver transport?
Well, for Ceredigion, it's slightly different because we're able to go from county to county if we need to go, particularly mostly on hospital journeys, as we often find that somebody living in Aberystwyth has to go to Carmarthen Hospital, and we're able to run those sort of trips quite easily. So, you know, we often have to take people into Llanelli and Swansea hospitals as well. So we don't have too much of a problem with that sort of journey, so we can do that.
Thank you, Bob.
Brilliant, thank you both. It's nice to see that, you know, you've got a bit of a variety of opportunities there as well. So if somebody doesn't feel as if they're confident at the moment in going out and driving due to the current situation, then obviously you've got the befriending opportunity, obviously telephone befriending at the moment. And when things change and get back to the new normal now, we're calling it, I think, isn't it? Or some sort of normal, you know, face-to-face befriending hopefully will become available again anyway. So that's quite important as well for that, you know, to get together basically. Yeah, okay. Thank you both very, very much for this morning, and once again joining us with our volunteering fair. I would like to ask Laura now from the South and West Wales Wildlife Trust and the Ddiddordeb Natur De Gorllewin Cymru to promote your volunteering opportunities for the region. Laura, welcome, croeso.
Brilliant, thank you. Hopefully this will work. So thank you. My name's Laura Evans and I am the Living Seas Wales Project Officer for the Wildlife Trust of South and West Wales. Firstly, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Trust and then some of the different opportunities we've got going over the counties. So if you don't already know, the Wildlife Trust of South and West Wales is one of 45 wildlife trusts across the UK. We cover an area of nearly 10,000 kilometres squared, and we either own or manage on behalf of the owners 110 nature reserves covering just over 2,000 hectares. The Wildlife Trust really does rely on volunteers. At the moment, we have over 800 volunteers involved in our work, and the Trust overall helps people to enjoy wildlife and to stand up for wildlife and the environment. Firstly, I'm going to talk about our opportunities that we have in Ceredigion. So I'm usually based at the Cardigan Bay Marine Wildlife Centre, which is on the seafront in Newquay. The centre was founded back in 1996 by Steve Hartley as a non-profit organisation dedicated to conserving the marine wildlife of Cardigan Bay. And we actually became part of the wider Wildlife Trust in April 2015. And we're responsible for delivering the Living Seas programme of work. So we help marine wildlife to recover from previous decline and inspire people to value the sea. So a little bit about volunteering with us. You don't need a background in science to become involved. That's one of the major things that people worry about when they're getting involved in conservation and marine biology. You don't need any of that. We provide full training and support. Obviously, at the moment, that is all done via online Zoom training sessions, emails, and obviously phone conversations as well. We can cater the volunteer experience to you, so you can volunteer around your schedule. You can volunteer any day of the week, and you can really pick and choose what tasks that you get involved with. So some of the amazing benefits of volunteering with us include you get to hopefully experience our amazing Welsh marine life, from bottlenose dolphins to crabs and anemones. You'll be contributing to marine conservation not only in Ceredigion but in Wales as well. You get to spend time outdoors, which obviously has been shown to have a massive impact on our mental health and well-being. You'll hopefully gain an array of new skills, meet new people. Obviously, it's a little bit harder for us to be meeting new people at the moment, but we're still doing a lot of online activities, things like virtual pub quizzes with our volunteers as well. And hopefully you will have fun volunteering with us. So a little bit about the different tasks that we have available. So volunteers can get involved with dolphin watch surveys, which you can see on the photo here, looking out for bottlenose dolphins, harbour porpoise and Atlantic grey seals. Our main hubs for those are in Newquay and in Aberystwyth. You can also help out with shore search surveys. So that's basically going to your local rocky shore, searching around, looking for specific things in the rock pools, different types of seaweed, different anemones and crabs, and surveying that for us. A lot of that work can be used in climate change monitoring, so that's really important. And that can be done from any of your local beaches across Ceredigion and even in Pembrokeshire and Carmarthenshire as well. You can get involved with beach cleans. We can provide equipment to help you do that. There is the opportunity to help with our visitor centre, so educating and inspiring the public. Obviously that's closed at the moment, but hoping later on in the year we'll be able to open again. And we do a lot of education events, things like rock pooling. Again, that's all on hold, but we have been doing virtual events and activities as well. And there's things like writing articles and blogs for our website and getting involved by creating educational content for our social media. So a little bit about volunteering and COVID. So obviously a lot of our activities are, at the moment, the outdoor activities are on hold because of the stay-at-home message. But if you are interested in getting involved with us, then we'll be spending the next couple of months providing online training to get you up to the skills you need, ready to do surveys and things when we can get back out and do them. When we do tasks at the moment, activities are undertaken alone unless you're volunteering with someone else in your household. All activities are fully risk assessed, which includes a COVID risk assessment. And as I said, staff are providing training and support online via Zoom or even, over the phone or emails. And as I said, we're also running sort of online volunteer socials for everybody to get together and have a catch up. So if you are interested in volunteering with us, then please do get in touch. Our email is volunteer@cbmwc.org. We've also got a really exciting new project which we're sort of starting work on now in February. Climate Change Cymru is funded by the National Lottery Community Fund, and it's actually a partnership project with all of the wildlife trusts in Wales working together, but at a local level in each area. So if you are, or if you know anybody aged 9 to 24 living in Ceredigion that are passionate about our seas and climate change, then this is the perfect project for them to get involved with. It's a youth-led project, which means the young people involved make all of the decisions. So all of the activities that we do as part of the project will be from young people, which is great. So if you want to get involved and help our seas and take action for climate in Ceredigion, then again, please contact us at volunteer@cbmwc.org. And finally, I'm just going to talk a little bit about some opportunities in Carmarthenshire with one of our reserves officers. So they typically do volunteer work parties on Tuesdays and Fridays. The activities are quite varied. So in the winter, tasks include things like hedge laying and scrub clearing. And in the summer, tasks include things like invasive non-native species removal and path clearance. And the work is carried out on nature reserves throughout the county. Again, a lot of this is currently impacted by COVID and non-essential work is not going ahead. But if you are interested in living in Carmarthenshire, then please do get in touch with Rebecca Killer, and her contact is r.killer@welshwildlife.org. So that's everything from me. So there's the different opportunities in Ceredigion, and you can do beach cleans and shore search surveys in Carmarthenshire and Pembrokeshire as well. We've got our youth project and some opportunities available in Carmarthenshire on reserves. So thank you for letting me speak to you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you for that. It's nice to know that a lot of these opportunities are regional. Some people think that you're only based in Ceredigion, maybe at the Newquay Centre, and don't actually realise that you are part of a much wider organisation. And if if somebody moves for whatever reason and they think, oh, I can't volunteer with them anymore, I still love doing that. It's nice to know that actually, yes, you can with the organisation, and you can, you know, if you're still within your sort of area of volunteering, then they can move with you.
Yeah, and especially now because everything has to be done sort of on your own because of COVID, you can do it at your local beach, which is great.
Yeah, that's good to know. Getting outdoors, isn't it? It's really important at the minute. If you can walk, or if you live, even if you live on the coast, or if you can walk that couple of miles or so and then do an activity on your behalf, then that's great as well. Yeah. Trish, do we have any questions for Laura?
So you have kind of answered it, Laura, as well already, really. But there was a question about, can I volunteer with my family? So there was a question there with, she's got 2 young children, and her and her partner would like to kind of do some beach clean. You know, are you happy?
Yeah, that's fine. As long as you're in your family bubble in your house, and that's fine. We do have a couple of families that do that with us.
Yeah. And then Manian has asked about opportunities for young people between 14 and 18, and obviously the Climate Change Cymru project is ideal for that. Yeah. She was just mentioning about, can that be done out of the school hours now, obviously, so the weekends, the evenings?
Yes, so we'll be doing a lot of work evenings and on the weekends, so we won't be doing anything really during school time.
Brilliant, thank you, that's brilliant.
Brilliant, thank you, Laura. Thank you. I do know that we are going to lose Simon and Bob in a minute, so if you do see them vanish off the screen, it's fine, that's no problem at all. Unfortunately, they were unable to stay with us for the whole volunteering fair, but thank you so much to both of you, and we make sure that your information and your details and any links that we have are up on the Carmarthenshire, Pembrokeshire and the Ceredigion volunteering sites. Thank you both, thank you. Okay, thank you, Laura. Thank you so much for that. Next, we have Wyn from Tair Dewi. I'm looking forward to listening to what you have to say about the organisation. Wyn, over to yourself. Diolch yn fawr iawn i ti.
Well, diolch am y croeso a diolch am y gwahoddiad. It's wonderful to be here on behalf of Tair Dewi. Tair Dewi is a farm support charity that was set up 5 years ago to cover Ceredigion, Carmarthenshire and Pembrokeshire. And during this last year, we have actually spread into Powys and up to North Wales. So we're a quickly growing charity, and we've grown in terms of staff and in terms of volunteers during the past sort of year or two. But there's always room for more, of course. And the volunteering opportunities we offer at Tair Dewi can be hugely varied, as with everyone else. As I say, the point of Tair Dewi is to offer support to farmers, farmers who are struggling with any kind of problem. As everyone else, we've seen the problems change during this year. There's a lot of isolation, so there's a great need for befrienders to telephone lonely, perhaps elderly farmers who are struggling, not being able to go to the market, not being able to have a chat with their neighbours, with their friends. Felly pobl I ffono, yn arbennig felly yn yr iaith Gymraeg, ffermwyr sydd yma bach yn hŷn, ac I gael sgwrs gyda nhw yn rheoledd, unwaith yr wythnos, dwywaith yr wythnos, beth bynnag sydd yn siwto chi a'r ffarmwr sydd angen cymorth. There's also always a great need for help with administrative work. Computer skills are always in demand, of course. We have recently appointed a social media and communications leader, so somebody to help with that, even if it's just a case of sending in nice agricultural photographs, rural scenery to use as part of our social media campaigns. That's always brilliant. We are in need of people to do simple tasks like putting beanie hats in envelopes and posting them out to people who want them. Because we can't now go to the shows, to the sales, to the marts where we usually manage to make sure that our merchandise is out there. We need people to help with the logistics of getting them out there. So if you can just go to the post office, pack up a parcel and send it out, then that would be something that we'd be very, very grateful for. But one of the main things we need at Tair Dewi is people to make sure that our message is out there, that farmers do not need to suffer in silence. So it's very, very, very simple. It's something you don't need a DBS for. It's something you don't need any training for. It's getting our message out there that there is at hand for farmers, and whether they contact us at Tir Dewi or anyone else, it doesn't matter, because eventually we make sure that the farmers in need get placed with the charities who offer the support that they need. One of the big problems in the rural and particularly in agricultural sectors is that farmers find it very difficult to ask for help. So the main help we need is to get our message out there that it's okay to need help and it's okay to ask for help. And then, of course, there's the more structured volunteering roles that have been traditionally part of Tir Dewi's work, to answer the phone on the helpline, to offer the support that's needed. For that, we do ask that you have a DBS, and we could arrange training and safeguarding, as I'm sure every charity these days do, because it has to be done. The safeguarding of volunteers is very, very important to us at Tir Dewi, ac i ni yn neud yn siŵr fod y prosesau gyd yn cael ei dilyn, a fod pawb yn ddiogel, yn wirfoddolwyr ac yn ddefnyddwyr yn gwasanaeth ni. Both the volunteers and the service users, of course, their safety and the safeguarding of them is very, very important to us. So there are aspects of that need to be addressed at the very beginning. But the opportunities, of course, are endless, because the thing with Tir Dewi, and people often ask me, what does Tir Dewi do? Well, the short answer is that we support farmers. The even shorter answer is, whatever a farmer's problem, our answer is yes. And that puts us in quite a difficult situation sometimes, because we need volunteers that can do anything and everything. It ranges from loneliness to financial issues to family issues, the issues that have sort of been made bigger because of COVID and made worse because of COVID. But looking forward as well to when we will be able to go back out into our communities, we need people who can talk on our behalf, who can meet with people, who can go to marts, to sales, speak to farmers and tell them, listen, Tir Dewi is here if you need help and support. So diolch yn fawr i chi am y cyfle, diolch am wrando, a dyna rhai o'r cyfleoedd sydd gyda ni yn Tir Dewi. Diolch.
Gret, diolch yn fawr iawn, Wyn. Thank you, Wyn. Fi'n credu bod yn bwysig iawn hefyd i gofio, i pobl i cofio bod Tir Dewi na. Felly, yn bwysig i chi cael gwirfoddolwyr i helpu'r ffermwyr. Mae hefyd yn bwysig iawn bod pobl sydd falle'n gweld rhywun yn dioddau, yn gwybod bod na gymorth mas na iddo nhw, a bod nhw yn gallu hybu eich mudiad chi i'r ffermwr. Falle bod y person a ddim yn glwmd y Tir Dewi, ond falle bod e jyst yn gymydog i'r ffermwr sydd yn gweld bod e, chymod, ddim yn gwneud yn iawn ar hyn o bryd, a chi'n iawn, mae'r marchnadoedd wedi cau ar hyn o bryd, a oedd lot o ffermwyr yn mwynhau mynd i'r mart, hyd yn oed os nad nhw'n meddwl gwerthu na prynu dim byd. Oedd e'n cymdeithasu, oedd e'n gyfle iddyn nhw'n mynd y cwrdd y ffrindiau a cael diwrnod allan o'r ffarm oedd yn bwysig iawn hefyd. A hefyd fel dwi'n sioeau gyd, sy'n sioeau wedi bod lenni yn y flwyddyn diwethaf. Felly, mae'n bwysig iawn bod pobl yn adnabod eich mudiad chi a'r gwaith i chi'n neud. Fel chi'n gweud, dyw e ddim just ni'n neud hyn a hyn, i chi'n mwy na hapus i helpu unrhyw berson sydd yn glwm a amaeth.
Yn bendant. Unrhyw broblem yn ymwneud ag amaethyddiaeth neu hyd yn oed bywyd gwledig, rural life as well as agriculture, we are here, a dyna'r neges bwysig, of course.
Brilliant, yeah, and it's important. As long as people know that they can refer people who are struggling possibly to yourself, then that's brilliant, that's good. Sorry, Trish, I don't know if there were any questions, or maybe I've just gone over some of them.
So you mentioned about kind of putting merchandise into envelopes and sending them out, and where's the host office so someone can...
Well, our head office is in Pembrokeshire, down in Hayes Castle, but most of the merchandise are at the moment actually with me in Carmarthenshire. But what we could do is, I could send a box of hats to somebody, and then they could send them out individually as and when they need it. if someone would be happy to do that, that would be brilliant.
That's fantastic. And I had a few questions about the photographs. So for Maynard's question earlier about someone 14 to 18, and if they were happy to take some photographs of rural life for you to share and to help in the admin, would there be opportunities for younger people to help out with the admin, that social media kind of side with your colleague that you has just been appointed, you mentioned?
Absolutely. I mean, if younger people particularly, I would be more than happy for them to get in touch, and we would put them in touch with, as I said, our new social media communications leader, who I'm sure would be very, very happy to help them and to work with them and to accept their help, of course.
Fantastic, that's great. And one last for me as well. Sorry, the helpline. So if you were a person, and we have a lot of social care organisations that are doing befriending, that I'm sure other volunteers will say, well, I'm doing it for somebody else, I'm happily do it for Tir Dewi as well, and share those skills. They could take that phone call from home. That can be done from them. Yes,
our helpline is open from 7 in the morning till 11 at night. And it's transferred from one phone to another as and when needed, when your shift begins and ends.
And just lastly, would you say it's a benefit, and someone mentioned it to me before when we mentioned that you were coming today, was, do you think volunteers, if I volunteer for Tir Dewi, that I need to have an experience in agriculture, or an empathy or relate, or is it just that rural life and an empathy to a person that is enough?
They need to have empathy to farming, to agriculture, and they need to be able to understand that farmers are a very different kind of person to a lot of other people, the same as most jobs, and farmers have very specific problems. They don't absolutely have to be from farming backgrounds, but as I say, they need to be able to empathise with the fact that farmers' problems are different to other people's problems.
That's great. Diolch. I thought that case. Thank you very much.
Diolch.
Great, lovely. Diolch yn fawr iawn I ti, Wyn. Thank you very much, Wyn. Okay, moving on. Next we have from Age Cymru Dyfed is Marie. Marie, welcome, croeso, and I will hand it over to yourself now to promote your volunteering opportunities.
Brilliant, thank you. So I've just got a short presentation, or it looks a bit like a video to share. So if I just, am I able to share my screen with you yet? Perfect. Oh, I think it's just disappeared. Can you see that now? Sorry, it disappeared for a second there. Brilliant, thank you. So I'm just going to play this and then I'll talk through what is shown in the video. Right, hopefully you can just see me now. My screen completely changed. Hopefully you can see me. Thank you to the Cavo team for inviting me today. It's great to be with you all and meet some new faces as well. So my name's Marie Oak. I'm the Business Development Officer for Age Cymru Dyfed. Age Cymru Dyfed merged in April, so it was Age Cymru Sir Gaer and Age Cymru Ceredigion before then. We're now Age Cymru Dyfed collectively, covering Pembrokeshire, Carmarthenshire and Ceredigion. So the aim of the organisation is to support anyone over the age of 50 across our counties, with the aim of helping them remain independent for as long as possible and make the most out of later life. And we do have a range of opportunities available. All the ones that I'll talk about today are across all 3 counties. And obviously you saw a little bit about each of them in the video there, so I'll just go into a little bit more detail and obviously take any questions. So just to let you know, because of current circumstances, all of these are being done remotely currently, so either via telephone or Zoom, but we obviously do have the intention when we can of getting back out and about and face to face. Won't that be nice? So if I firstly go through the opportunity for digital champions, so we have a digital service who help people over the age of 50 learn how to set up, use laptops, tablets, phones, whatever digital device they have really. So it's a case of sort of talking them through, giving them a bit of confidence as to actually sometimes simply turning on the actual device, all things like accessing Zoom so they can connect with family and friends, doing online shopping, anything that they need or want to learn about with their digital devices, we endeavour to help out with. Obviously, we know digital connection has become quite critical recently with current circumstances. So we've seen a really big uptake for this service. So we're looking for more volunteers who will be trained by our digital team, and they will connect with individuals on a one-to-one basis and talk them through how to use digital devices. We don't ask that they're complete whiz kids when it comes to digital. You don't have to be coding or anything like that, but obviously you will need to be comfortable with digital and also have patience and empathy. As you can imagine, it can be difficult to pick up these types of things if you've not done them before, so we definitely need people who've got patience and empathy for the people that they'll be supporting. And then the next one that I showed you in the video was our Befriending Life Links project. So that aims to reduce loneliness and isolation in people over the age of 50, again, across our 3 counties. Our volunteers at the moment are obviously doing one-to-one befriending, either via telephone, or we've got quite a few that are doing it over Zoom now, which is lovely as well, that they can actually see one another face to face. And we're very privileged to have obviously our digital service to help people get to that place as well, if they would prefer to be able to see the person, which often helps if they've got maybe hearing difficulties and things as well, where they can lip read, etc. So the volunteers will have normally a weekly phone call or Zoom catch up with their befriendee. So befriender and befriendee is the terminology that we use in case I throw it out there and don't make any sense. So they pretty much, it's focused around building confidence. I think a lot of people have lost confidence because they've not been out and about lately. They might not have had as much connection with the people that they normally would do. So it's about building confidence. So when we come through what we're going through now in terms of the pandemic, that they feel they're in a position to get back out and about with or without support. So it's really important that we keep that going and keep motivation through the support that our volunteers and our team itself can offer. We also are running a few groups, so we've got social groups and things like book clubs for people to get involved in, but we're also working with other organisations who are running a lot of fantastic activities, so the arts and things like that, and we want to be able to enable people to get to those places. It's not always easy or straightforward for some people. It does take a little bit of confidence to join a new group sometimes, so we're available to really help them get to that place so that they can either start doing the things that they think they'd like to do or continue to do the things that they were enjoying probably before lockdown started. So this project launched within lockdown, which came with challenges, but also came at the perfect time because it's exactly what's needed right now. So what I would say is, if you've got any questions or you want any more information about how it would work, or maybe you need just a bit of clarification on the expectation, we've got 3 coordinators, 1 in each county, who will gladly have a chat with you and talk about your circumstances and what it would actually mean for you. They would match you accordingly with a person maybe with similar interests, and preferably someone within the same area, so that when we can actually physically meet. And then the third one, which I'd like to go through with you, is the veteran support that we offer. So it kind of comes in 2 parts, this one a little bit. So at the moment, we are actively recruiting people either from the armed forces or with an interest in military services to offer befriending to veterans, and also we'll be starting up some groups for veterans across the 3 counties again. What we've learned is it's quite a specific experience that a person in the military has had, and sometimes it is quite hard to relate to somebody who maybe doesn't quite can empathise, but maybe doesn't fully understand. So it would be great to get people involved that either are familiar with services because they've been part of it or are part of it, or people with a genuine interest in it, so that we can get those connections and a shared experience really for the veterans across our 3 counties. We also, post-lockdown, whenever that's going to be, we'll have opportunities to do some sort of small handyman jobs or gardening jobs for our veterans, people who maybe can't get out to tend to their gardens, or have just a small rail or something that needs installing within the house. So obviously when it's safe to do so, we're going to be looking to restart that, and it'd be great to get some volunteers who are handy with a screwdriver or enjoy that type of thing and would like to help out in that way. And then the second part, which is really interesting actually, and has had quite a lot of publicity as of late. So we've got the West Wales Veterans Archive, which is a collection of accounts, literature, pictures from older veterans across our 3 counties that make up an archive full of really interesting and useful and educational resources, which is housed in the National Library of Wales. And also we now have a website of our own that shows all of these articles. And what we're looking for is people preferably with a bit of creative writing experience, or someone who's quite comfortable in the written word, to be able to listen to the stories of our veterans and develop them and type them up so that they can be included in the archive. We've had quite an overwhelming number of people come forward who really want to share their stories, which is absolutely fantastic. And some of the things that they're sharing are fascinating. So we definitely like to get more people involved so they can capture as many of those as possible. So I think for all 3, I say 3, I know there's a few more, but all 3 projects then that have got volunteering opportunities on offer, they're very flexible in that we want to work around people's routines, around people's normal day-to-day lives, and they will normally just be asked to get involved when the time suits them. Even with our befriending service, it will be done based on when the befriendee is free and when the befriender is free, and there will be a mutual agreement there. So we are really, really flexible, similar to what other people have said. Obviously we're a charity, so we've got to go through the process of onboarding volunteers properly to make sure that we're doing so safely, and making sure that everybody's fully informed in what it is that they're doing. So there are a couple of forms, and we will do a DBS, no cost to any of our volunteers, but we've got people on hand who will talk them through exactly what that is, and do all the induction and training, so there's not much to worry about in that way. If you'd like any more information about any of these, we do have our reception email, which I'll share in the comments. So it's just reception@agecymrudydyfed.org.uk. That's probably the best one to contact initially, because then we can send that to whoever the relevant staff member would be for you to talk for specific projects. What I would say is, if you're a bit sort of, oh, they all sounded all right, I want to find out more about all of them, please feel free. And we do also have volunteers who are involved in more than one. So if you've got multiple interests, or you want to give something a try, but you know that another one is maybe more for you, we're completely flexible, and we want it to be just as rewarding for you as it is for the people that you'll be supporting. So just have a chat with us, and we can sort of tailor it to whatever it is that you need as well. But hopefully that gives you a little bit of information about what's available, and yeah, just get in touch. We'll be glad to hear from you.
Lovely, diolch Marie, thank you. The one thing I will note there is going back to the video that you shared with us right at the beginning. Everybody looked happy in that video.
Yeah.
That was a lovely thing to see. You had nobody sitting there like, you know, look on their own, lonely. It was the complete opposite. It was a positive. It was a really nice video with everybody just together well, we were allowed to, obviously, together, you know, with their befriending, with their volunteer, with a family member, in a group. It was just nice to see everybody looking so happy. So that was good on that one. And sorry, Trish, anything for Marie?
The creative writing role in the archiving or helping archiving the story is really interesting. I look forward to promoting that, and it's very interesting. To come to questions on the digital role.
Yeah.
So 2 scenarios we've come up with. This one questions on. So if you're 16, can you become a digital volunteer and support somebody?
So as a rule of thumb, all of our volunteers we're asking for 18 plus, just because they're supporting technically vulnerable people, which I know is generalisation in a way, but just because of the age of the people that we work with, we've got to DBS them. So we do ask for over 18s. If anybody wanted to get involved who had an interest in digital, but more so on the side of developing materials and things like that, so similar to what was just discussed previously, helping out with content for social media and things, we'd definitely be interested in people sending us things that they would like to share. That's not a problem at all.
Okay, no problem. And the other was there's a small business, so they were keen to help with the digital and some of their staff that are not in full capacity currently, but they were saying it wouldn't be a long-term offer possibly, because obviously hopefully things and their business will be up to capacity again. So would that be something that you would welcome? So if it was over, he was saying a couple of months, would that be enough commitment for you in that role, or you know?
Yeah, definitely. So with the digital support, it tends to be sort of 1 or 2 sessions when they get to grips with it, and then it's just having someone there for ongoing queries, etc. But the initial interactions, it's not like befriending where it's an ongoing relationship. It's more to be able to provide them with support and educate. So it's not something that would necessarily need to have a huge commitment. So we'd definitely be interested in something like that.
Okay, that's brilliant. That's fantastic. I'll come back to you on that particular query. Fantastic.
Brilliant.
I missed a question, Wyn. Sorry. There was a question: would the volunteers need to be Welsh speaking, or would it be beneficial to be Welsh speaking to volunteer with a particular befriending?
No, we do have a particular need for Welsh speakers, but there's always need for non-Welsh speakers as well. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you.
Great, lovely. Thank you, Trish. Thank you, Marie. Thank you for that. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we'll make sure that all the information, the contact information, is available to anybody who's been watching today and is interested in getting in contact with any of the organisations here this morning. Okay, moving on. Finally, then, I'd like to welcome Dawn. Dawn is from Cerdded Bydd Lles, Gorllewin Cymru, Walking for Wellness West Wales. I'm really keen for this project to get back up and running, and we'll all be able to get back out and walk together as a group, and yeah, and just get together, really, isn't it? Recently taken up walking, and I love it, and it's good on your own, but it's nice to get out there with a group. So Dawn, I'll pass it over to you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Ruth, and thank you, Ruth and Trish and Kate, for inviting me to talk today. So I'm part of a really exciting project called West Wales Walking for Wellbeing. It is a project across the 3 counties. So I coordinate the project in Ceredigion. I do have colleagues in Carmarthenshire and Pembrokeshire as well who are coordinating the projects in their counties. So the idea behind the project is that we set up short, safe health and wellbeing walks across our counties. So
A health walk is aimed at people who are relatively inactive, and the walks are short, they're always safe, so they're flat. So if anyone comes along with walking sticks or wheelchairs, the walks will always be accessible for them. Everyone there is really friendly, and a big aspect of the group walks is bringing people together and socialising, which, as we know, is going to be really, really important when the pandemic passes. So we are going to be working with GPs and other health professionals and getting them to identify people who will benefit from these health walking groups. So as we all know, there are a lot of benefits to walking, health benefits, and also mental health benefits. So we're going to be working with GPs predominantly, and they'll be referring people to our groups. I'm hoping that we can set up groups across the county, and we will have like a menu of walks on different days, you know, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, so that, and then those walks will run every week, so it can become people's routines. So we are going to really, really need volunteers to help with this, because there's only one of us in each county, and we can only obviously be in one place at a time. So I think it's a really interesting role for people who enjoy walking, who are friendly. I think people who are patient and empathetic as well, because there are going to be people who are going to be really nervous, and leaving home and coming out for a walk is going to be a huge step. So we want firstly befrienders, so maybe you could go and meet that person from their car and they'll come to the walk. And then we're also going to be looking for walk leaders. So walk leaders will run and be in charge of the group in their area, but under the guidance, you'll always have backup from myself and my colleagues in the other counties as well. So as a walk leader, we offer a one-day training course, which we can actually do virtually at the moment over 2 or 3 afternoons. And then before you actually go out walking, we'll come and join you and do the face-to-face walks and make sure you're feeling confident. We also doing a first aid training, and we cover all your expenses. So it really is going to be quite an exciting project. As Ruth said, so many people enjoy walking and enjoy going out. So to help more people come and be part of this group, another big part of it after the walk is we always go and have a cup of tea and a chat, and people are making friends. So at the moment, no one's walking, all the walks have been suspended across the counties, but in Pembrokeshire and Carmarthenshire, they were actually walking certain months of the year last year when we weren't in lockdown. So if you're in either of those 2 counties, it's likely that once restrictions are lifted, hopefully February, the initial strict lockdown rules, then they will be going out walking probably. Obviously no one knows at the moment, but so if you're in those 2 areas, I will ask Trish and Ruth to put their contact details. So it's Adam Hearn in Carmarthenshire and Sam Evans in Pembrokeshire. So you could contact them directly, or alternatively, you can visit our website, which is westwaleswalkingforwellbeing.org.uk. So have a look on there as well if you're interested. There is a registration form to fill out, but if you want to just email us and we can give you a ring and have a chat, because we're all working at home at the moment anyway. But I think it's a really, really lovely role for someone who enjoys being outdoors, who enjoys meeting people. I think it will be really rewarding, because I think a lot of friendships do get made on the walks, and people then do go off and have coffees together. So please get in touch if you're interested to find out more details. Any questions there, Trish?
A women's walking group, a Facebook group, and she said she'd be very keen for you to add some information on their Facebook page. Although it's the Wales one, it's quite a large amount of their members are from West Wales. They're keeping on walking, of course, during this time, but yeah, she's quite keen. I think that her members will be keen to
Great.
hear about that role. One question here now today was that this lady, she'd like to volunteer as a lead, but she home educates her son, and she's a very social 14-year-old. I'm not going to say anything about that, but 14 and social. And is that a barrier for her to volunteer as lead?
No, she would be there all the time. If her son wanted to come along, then, as long as they were, we wouldn't be responsible for him. I can't see that being an issue at all, to be honest.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Can I ask, with the people who come to walk with you then, Dawn, is there like an age, sort of an age category that you're looking at? Are you sort of targeting more of the elderly, or if you've got some teenagers or somebody in their 20s and 30s who's, got a little bit of anxiety and, wants to get out and join a group? Does it matter about the age for the people who...
No, there's no age as such, but I think most of people that come on the walks are people with health conditions. So they tend to be, all ages really, not so many young people. There were some ladies that came along from the Flying Start group, so mums with their babies. So some of those girls were quite young. And I know in Pembrokeshire, Sam walks with a dementia care group and other different groups as well. So it really is across all ages. There's no barrier, but I think it probably tends to be people. And because we walk in the daytime, maybe people that have retired, and because they get referred then through the exercise referral schemes as well. And they're always quite keen to come out and walk and make new friends.
Oh, brilliant. There we go. As long as age isn't a barrier anyway in this, it's just if it helps them, then they're more than happy you're more than happy for them to join the walking group.
That's right. I don't think we've really had anyone under 18 join alone. That would be something I'd have to look into, but it's something that I can definitely find out more about. If anyone under 18 wanted to join, even just join in the walking group.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much, Dawn. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Okay, wel, hoffwn i ddiolch i'r mudiadau sydd yma gyda ni heddiw. Marie, Age Cymru, Dawn, Walking for Wellbeing, Wyn, Tirdewi, Laura from the Wildlife Trust, and also Bob and Simon, who had to leave us early from Royal Voluntary Service. I'd like diolch i chi am eich amser. A gobeithio, efallai bod yna bobl yn gwylio heddi sydd â diddordeb yn eich gwaith chi, beth mae'ch mudiad chi yn neud, ac efo'r awydd i ddechrau wirfoddoli gyda chi fel mudiad. Os mae yna unrhyw mudiad yn gwylio heddi, a bod diddordeb gyda chi fod yn rhan o Ffair Wirfoddoli Rithwir, felly yn y dyfodol, plis cysylltiwch gyda ni, neu lle gyda ni yn Cafo, Cafs yn Gyfyrddin neu Pafs yn Sir Benfro. We'd like to thank the organisations who are with us today. Thank you, Marie, Dawn, Wyn, Laura, and of course, Simon and Robert, who needed to leave us early. Thank you for your time this morning, and we hope that some of the viewers are interested in the work that your organisations do and may wish to become volunteers with yourselves in the very near future. Just to point out, if there are any other organisations who are watching today or who've heard about our virtual volunteering fairs and like to be a part of them in the future, then please get in touch with us, either one of the team from Cafo, Cafs in Carmarthenshire or Pavs in Pembrokeshire. There is also, for any volunteers, potential volunteers watching, if you are looking to volunteer, then obviously please have a look at the Volunteering Wales website. It's www.volunteering-wales.net. This is a website, it's a platform where organisations will promote their volunteering opportunities on the platform, and you can go and view in your specific county. It's an all Wales website. You can look at your specific county, or even get more local into your area, specific area within a couple of miles, and see what opportunities there are available for you to volunteer with at the moment. Obviously, due to COVID, there are many opportunities that have currently closed to new recruitments, but a lot of our organisations have adapted with what's happening at the moment, and they have looked at changing the way that they do deliver their services, and a lot of them have gone, as mentioned today. Telephone befriending has become really, really important. Zoom, so that you have got that face-to-face volunteering befriending, but obviously digitally over through laptops and phones. But it is really important that we do still keep in contact with clients and volunteers as well. So there is that. We do have the Volunteering Wales website available for anybody who would like to volunteer. I don't think there's anything else we need to say, Trish. I don't believe. We're not sure when the next volunteering fair is. That date will be announced within a couple of months' time, I would have thought. Dyddiad nesa ni ar gyfer y ffair nesa. I think.
You are interested in volunteering, just contact ourselves or CAVs or PAVs, and we're able to help you with the organisations I see today, with any other opportunities. We're here to help. Just give us a call.
Yeah, and if you're on the border, if you're in Newcastle Emlyn, on the border with 2 counties, or in Llantysil, or wherever, and you're on the border and you're not quite sure where you should be going, obviously contact one of us. We're always talking with our colleagues in the other counties, and we'd be more than happy then to pass you across and have a chat with you about the opportunities available. You could live in Ceredigion, but you can go and volunteer in Pembrokeshire or in Carmarthenshire and vice versa as well. So that's we like to make it nice and easy for everybody to be able to volunteer their time. So thank you very much for watching our third virtual volunteering fair. This one obviously is a regional one. Mae hon yn Ranbarthol, sydd yn rhywbeth newydd i ni hefyd. Felly diolch yn fawr iawn i chi. Unrhyw un a angen unrhyw wybodaeth pellach, please just cysylltwch gyda ni mewn unrhyw modd chi'n gallu. Ond diolch yn fawr iawn i chi. Thank you very much for watching today. Diolch, thank you.